Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to an awesome movie ranking. And this is going to be my top 30 favorite movies of all time. That's right, my favorite movies of all time. This is a video I've wanted to do for a while, but I have been watching some new movies. So this is my favorite movies of all time. For now, I still have a lot of movies I really want to watch. But here we go. This is my ranking right now. Number 30, Modern Times. An old Charlie Chaplin movie that is a very fun time. It's an entertaining movie. I don't see anybody getting bored during this movie. I've always enjoyed Charlie Chaplin in movies. This is my favorite Charlie Chaplin movie. Number 29, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? This movie is perfect. Like, characters are great. It has like kind of the way they did stuff in the movie. Whenever you see a scene and you just see two characters look at each other or just a character's face, you see what's happening. It's so amazing. I love this movie so much. 28, The Sound of Music. I am a huge musical fan, and this is one of my personal favorite musical movies. I think that it is just beautiful. It's a 3-hour movie, but it's so entertaining. The songs are fantastic. The acting, amazing. I love this movie, and I forever will. Number 27, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. This is my personal favorite Mission Impossible movie. And the Dubai sequence is my favorite moment in the series, probably. That scene is just edge of your seat cinema. Number 26, Alien. This movie is so good. I love it. By the way, I'm only allowing one movie per franchise. This movie is fantastic. I think it has amazing VFX, even for when it first came out. It still looks, the VFX are still great today. It's iconic. I love this movie, and I love it. Number 25, The Lion King. A perfect movie, amazing songs, one of the best Disney movies. Not quite the best, but one of the best. It's a perfect movie. So yeah, 25. Number 24, Arrival. Another fantastic movie with a great twist at the end. If you're watching this video and you haven't seen the movie, I don't want to spoil that twist, so I'm not gonna give it away really. But my God, the twist in this movie is fantastic. It's a very realistic interpretation of how a alien apocalypse would happen if it actually were to happen. Denis Villeneuve is great at directing movies that are sci-fi for adults, like Dune. But this is my favorite Denis Villeneuve movie. Number 23, Jurassic Park. This movie is a bit overrated, but who am I kidding? It's still an amazing movie. It has stunning VFX of the dinosaurs. I think the score is iconic. I love this movie. I thought it was fantastic. I think it's fantastic, just like all of you. But there are also a lot of movies that I love. Number 22, Rocky. Fantastic movie. I mean, it's just, you all know why it's amazing. Rocky is one of the greatest characters of all time. One of the greatest movie characters of all time. It's well directed. Everything about it is fantastic, 21, Beauty and the Beast. This is my personal favorite Disney, not including Pixar, but my favorite Disney movie. This movie has amazing animation that still looks great today. I think that the characters are amazing. I'm not a fan of a live-action remake, honestly. Even in animation, you still see all the Beast's little emotions, and that is a standout in this movie. Number 20, La La Land. Ooh, I love this movie. This might be my favorite musical of all time. it's a beautiful movie. I love it so much. I cannot praise it anymore. It used to be my favorite movie of all time, but that's changed just because I've thought about it for a little bit. And there's still some other movies, but this movie is still a masterpiece. Love it. The title is bad, but still the movie is fantastic. Number 19, Toy Story. My favorite Pixar movie and Disney movie in general. Amazing. I love the movie. Buzz is my favorite character, which is why I loved Lightyear, but this is still my favorite Toy Story and Pixar movie. Just fantastic. The animation at the time was great. I don't mind the animation as much as some people I know do. I think that it's just a perfect movie. I think that the story is great, and it's a movie that if I'm not feeling the best, it's a movie that I would want to, it's the first movie I would pick to watch to bring me joy. Number 18, Forrest Gump. This movie is amazing. Tom Hanks gives maybe his best performance I've seen. He does this performance perfectly. Forrest, while he isn't, he's just a great character. Lieutenant Dan's character arc is one of the greatest character arcs of all time. It makes me so happy to see the movie. I loved it, and I only saw this movie like a month ago. It's crazy. I wish I saw it earlier. Number 17, Quiet Place. Love this movie. Just a masterclass in suspense. This is my favorite suspense. I technically would, you know what? It's just amazing. I loved it so much. I don't think the sequel was as good as this one, but technically, I'm sure the sequel would probably be in this same spot. But I think that the first one is way better. Number 16, Interstellar. This movie is Christopher Nolan's most emotional movie with great tear-jerking moments, amazing cinematography, some of the best visual effects in cinema history. Amazing movie. I loved it so much. It's so good. To the middle of the list, number 15, Top Gun Maverick. Yes, this Top Gun Maverick movie made into my top 20, number 15 actually. So wow, this movie is just great. I loved it. Is fantastic. Everything. It's a masterpiece. I think it might be the best movie of the year between this and the Batman. But the Batman isn't on this list because there's one other thing. But still, this movie might be the best movie of the year. Number 14, Poltergeist. One of my favorite horror movies of all time. I find it to be a fantastic movie with groundbreaking effects. It's just amazing haunted house movie that just makes you think. I always was in suspense. The characters are fantastic. Amazing movie. Amazing climax. I love it. Number 13, SpiderMan No Way Home. Possibly just amazing nostalgia. It's just so good. If you want more information on it, I've done MCU rankings where I've put Spider-Man No Way Home at the top of it or Winter Soldier. This spot I was debating between No Way Home and Winter Soldier, but this movie is my favorite of the MCU. Winter Soldier is a better movie than this, but this is just my favorite MCU movie. Everything, it's just a fantastic movie. I loved it. Number 12, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. I know, right? So it's crazy. Some people are going to be mad about this, but Temple of Doom is my favorite Indiana Jones movie. Now, this might be a little bit of bias because this is the first Indiana Jones movie I saw, but I still think it's amazing. Some people think, oh, it's too psychopathic. makes everybody. I don't get why some people think it's like one of the worst. I think it is my favorite. Again, biased, but still has so many of the amazing adventure elements. The VFX again are fantastic. I love this movie more than the first one, and Last Crusade. And Kingdom of the Crystal Skull doesn't exist because that movie is a piece of crap. But this movie is my favorite Indiana Jones movie. I don't get the hate behind it. Number 11, Jaws. Just a great suspense, groundbreaking effects, and this is an example of when problems behind the scenes actually made the movie better, because they don't show the shark as much in the movie, which just made the movie better, because then it introduces more fear into the scene, and I think that was it was brilliant. I love this movie. I mean, when the shark is on screen, it still looks amazing. I mean, of course, this is probably the most violent PG rated movie of all time, but still, I love Jaws. Number 10, The Dark Knight. This is my favorite Batman movie. And technically, the Batman would probably be in the same spot or somewhere around this list, but I am choosing to only include one movie per franchise, since that would have a lot of these movie franchises would take up a lot of the list. So The Dark Knight is number 10, and technically the Batman is somewhere else on this list. But The Dark Knight is my favorite Batman movie, mainly because of Heath Ledger's Joker. He gives the performance of a lifetime. Definitely the best live-action Joker by far. I doubt he'll ever be beaten. And still, Christian Bale's Batman is still fantastic. The story, I can't find a single thing wrong with this movie. Everything is perfect. The Batman is amazing detective Batman story. This is a great crime Batman movie. So I'm gonna go with this movie because I like it more. But the Batman would probably be on this list too. But I'm only including one movie per franchise. It hurts me not to put it on this list, but can't be on this list. Sorry. Number 9, Inception. This movie, while The Dark Knight might be one of Christopher Nolan's best movies, this is my favorite Christopher Nolan movie. It blows my freaking mind. It just makes you think so much. It's definitely a movie that you need to watch more than once. I didn't understand it completely the first time, but after seeing a second time, I understand it now. Amazing movie. It's a heist movie. I love it. It has a mystery at the end of it, kind of. I can't praise this movie enough. It's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. So it's a number 9, but I find there to be some better movies. Number 8, Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Wow. This movie is iconic. This movie is both amazing. Like, it's one of the best sequels of all time. I think that Han and Leia are a great couple. It's definitely the best written Star Wars movie. It's a great written Star Wars movie. The whole twist with Vader and Luke of "I am your father," that's technically not a spoiler. Everybody knows it by now. It's like the most universally known one twist of all time, but it is probably the best twist of all time. Anyway, still, I think this movie is a masterpiece, and it's forever perfect. I think it's iconic. The VFX, I think, still are great. Everything about the movie is just better than the first one. And the first one was already fantastic. Like, the VFX, way better. The score, way better. The thrills, way better. It is dark, and technically, whenever a series goes into a darker territory, that a little darker, then it's just, they always just name it as The Empire Strikes Back, because this is definitely the darkest of the original trilogy. And no doubt the best of the original trilogy, and my favorite the best Star Wars movie. Number 7, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Yeah, they're all in the same spot. They're all in the same spot. So I decided to put the whole trilogy at number 7. I think my least favorite would be The Two Towers, just because that has the weakest VFX out of them. So that's what holds it back from being in the top 5, because Two Towers is not the best one. I would think that Two Towers is amazing, just it's not a 10 out of 10 like the other ones. I would say it's like a 9 out of 10. But Fellowship of the Ring and Return of the King are definitely 10 out of 10s, maybe 11 out of 10s. Those movies are definitely masterpieces, perfect movies. This movie, I think that, but as a trilogy, it functions amazingly. Great movies, all really amazing movies or masterpieces. Just, I love this trilogy. Probably the best trilogy of all time. So yeah, number 7. I wish I could put it higher, but there's just some other movies that I find better, in my honest opinion. Number 6, Love, Simon. This is a very amazing, I love this movie. It's an LGBTQ story. I think that it's a must watch. I find it a perfect movie. I praise it so much. It's a movie I saw like a week ago or something, but I think it's a perfect movie. I just love it. I love Simon. Number 5, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This movie tells the story of a perfect tragedy. It's a tragedy with a theme. It's my grandmother's favorite movie of all time. But I think this movie is just a perfect movie. It makes apes on horses with machine guns battling a tank feel grounded. Matt Reeves might be my favorite director working today, and probably my second favorite director of all time. He is just a fantastic director. The movie cinematography is beautiful. The Andy Serkis brings, I think, possibly his best performance in the whole Planet of the Apes trilogy, maybe between Dawn and War, but I mean, I think Dawn is better than War of the Planet of the Apes. I know some people like War. War and Dawn and Rise would probably be somewhere on this list, but I'm gonna go ahead but I think that Dawn is the best Planet of the Apes movie of all time and one of my favorites. So it's coming in at number 5. I love it. Number 4, The Thing. This is my favorite horror movie of all time. It shocked me that this movie at first received bad reviews, because this movie should have gotten perfect reviews. The story is suspenseful and great. I mean, some people just didn't like it because it was gross. I mean, of course it's gory, but it's gory fun. It's a perfect horror movie. It has the scares. It's well directed, well acted, amazing horror movie. I think it was fantastic, and it's my favorite horror movie and one of my favorite movies of all time. Number 3, Back to the Future. This is iconic. This movie is so iconic. I love it. The story is perfect. The groundbreaking technology and VFX are fantastic. It's so good. I love it. It's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. Perfect movie. So good. I can't praise this movie enough. I want to put it higher, but there are just two other movies that I just love a little more than Back to the Future. And the top 2 are tied. Number 2, Die Hard. This is the best Christmas movie of all time. I could have put this at number 1, but there's one other movie that I just love a little bit more. But Die Hard, still amazing. 10 out of 10 movie. Actually, no, like 100, infinity out of 10, I guess. Perfect movie. Nothing wrong with it. All the stunts are fantastic. Uses great practical effects. all the effects are still amazing today. Hans Gruber might be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, villain in movie history. The acting is fantastic. Bruce Willis is fantastic in this movie. It's just so good. It's just perfect. It's a Christmas movie, no doubt, and the best Christmas movie with just amazing suspenseful moments. Just perfect. But my number one favorite movie of all time is The Matrix. Yep, The Matrix is my favorite movie of all time. It's just groundbreaking. It makes you think the most. It made me think the most. I think that the characters are pretty awesome. The action is some of the best action, maybe the best action I've seen in a movie. Just Keanu Reeves brings a great performance. Morpheus is my favorite character in my opinion. Just, my God, the lobby shootout is just fantastic. Oh my God, I praise this movie. This is my number one favorite movie of all time, between this and Die Hard, but I'm going to put The Matrix at my number one. This is my first rated R movie, but it's also just so good. I love it. So that's my list. Hope you enjoyed my ranking of my top 30 favorite movies of all time. Make sure to like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the video, and make sure to turn on the notifications. But as always, see you next time. Thank you for watching. Take care.